back front. That energy, that circle of energy that comes through here, that runs in through here. And when that saddle's not fitting right, it blocks off that energy flow. It shuts it down. Okay? So, just to kind of show you the panels, front part of my saddle, there's my scapula, all right, and how it sits on the rib cage and how it works with the ribs. Okay? So there. And then from the top side, kind of gives you an idea how the panel sits on that rib cage. And you know, I did this in 1992. That's how old this paper is. So 1992 is when I had all this. So that's how it gives you an idea of how it sits on the skeletal. And then there's your weight distribution in front, your weight distribution in back. Okay? So shows all how that has to work. Now, I have to say, the difference for me, the only different things that changed for me since I did this in 92 is that this saddle is sitting too low in front. You see it? Okay? Now, it all changed for me when I got to ride my first Grand Prix dressage horse in 1992. After I did this, it was the same year in Florida. I rode a Pan Am. It was Herbert Rabine's. It used to be Herbert Rabine's personal horse. Lady Killer was this horse's name. Okay? He's 21 years old. I got to ride this horse. Changed everything on how I fit saddles the day I got to ride that horse. Everything. So what I do now is I want saddles lifted in the front. Saddles settle faster in front than they do in back. Always. Pads crush faster in front than they do in back. All right, so in a Western saddle, you have pads. So that pad always crushes. Even your English pads crush faster. Your panels, your flocking crushes faster. All these French saddles with the foam panels, they still crush. It doesn't make any difference. It still happens in front faster than any other part. So the other issue out there is the people that went out and gone, this 18th rib business, okay, was never around till just recently. Because they were trying, because I never had a horse that had a problem that was fitted past the 18th rib. Not ever. Yeah.
So how do you explain the crushing? It makes sense, the crushing in the front. To me, I imagine it's because weight that you're putting on stirrups, maybe?
Could be stirrups, but also
it down in the front.
At the base of the wither on a horse moves like this. Horses move from side to side. Okay? So that's always moving. You always want this to move. This is where all of your lateral and forward comes from. It comes from right there. That's where it all comes from. If you shut that down, then everything Patrick told you here, from my point of view, shuts this and this down.
But that's where it stops.
That's it, right there.
Okay.
And every time I lift a horse, horses go, whew.
Because
Okay.
intuitively, you would think that all of your weight is on the back portion. And that would be the first part to, and I understand what you're saying, and I understand why that's
Right.
wrong.
Yeah. But when you think about where your stirrup leathers hang and stuff like that, and stuff. But and then as riders, you want to be, the idea is that you want to be over your balance point here. I can tell you, I've been riding dressage for over 30 years. My instructor still gets after me for this.
Yeah.
And I see it when I drive my own truck, all the way from Texas to here. like I'm gonna be ahead of everybody else. So now I grab the back of my steering wheel, the bottom of my steering wheel, and I start to drive like this. Because I have to. But anyway, So the main thing on horses you have to remember is they wear it. We just sit in it. It belongs to them. It is not ours. And usually what's right for the horse is right for the rider. Okay? So that's number one. So when I set up a saddle for a horse, it's for the horse. I don't look at the rider. I do later, or I'll see things that go on, because for me, my job is not only horse conformation, but people conformation, because we're all built different. My legs come out of my hips more forward. Okay, so it's different. Robert Dover, I remember seeing him for the first time. He looks like he's standing. I can't do it. But when he's standing with both his legs together, he doesn't have his gut up, but he looks like this. And if you watch him ride, he looks like this. But he stands on the ground like this. So it's fascinating when you go, well, oh, you know. So it's some of the stuff you get into. But, and as far as this, and when you're talking about the spine, okay, there again, on the channel on a saddle, okay, I have these perfectly crooked fingers that were broken several times. And from the back part of my saddle, the cantle, forward, as I go forward, then it opens. There. Horses from back to front are this way. They're not this way. Okay? So that's how they're built. So the other thing you have to watch out for is everybody got to where they were trying to make that channel too wide. Okay? So now I have panel falling off the muscle. Okay? So you have connective tissue that runs right along here. Okay? Right in through there. But the way a panel is shaped, and I can't make my hand do it, I don't think. No, I can't really. Is that panel has a little flatness to it, but the way a saddle is made is kind of rolled up just a tad bit right there. So you're not on that connective. Okay? So what happened is when they tried to go too wide in these channels is now it not only fell off the muscle, so instead of that panel sitting here, it sit down here. And then for me, I would have to reach around to put my leg on my horse. Okay, so now it does that. So those are some of the other things as far as what saddles get into. Saddles need to stay quiet on a horse. And so the other thing I watch is, this is my horse's back right here, and that's my panel. Okay, what I don't want is this. Anytime a saddle bounces here, it's too wide in front. Always. So what you want is, you want that. That's the kind of what you're going to get in your bounce. Some horses go a little more pogo stick, and so they don't come under, so they're going to bounce a saddle a little bit more. But you have to look and see what the difference is on that, you know, on versus other horses. And so those are some of the things I look for